Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick, Colorado. My name is Michaela. This morning we have a brand new 2025 Logan Coach Bullseye, 4-horse slant load with a front tack on it. So Logan does a couple different configurations as far as tack rooms. I know we've seen the dual tack setups, we've seen trainer tack setups. This one's going to be just your standard, the one-sided door here, front tack, so it keeps your floor length real manageable. We'll go ahead and pull up our drawing and just run through those dimensions and numbers together. So nose to tail on this one, we're only looking at 26 feet and about 10 inches there. And then your floor length is going to be 18 feet and about 7.5 inches. Our standard width is 6'9" on our Logans, and our standard height is 7 feet tall. We're on 6K axles with aluminum wheels on this trailer here. We do order our inventory a little bit different than what Logan does as standard. So to them, standard on this one would be no water tank and steel wheels. Those are the two big things that we changed before we ship them to Transwest here. We like the aluminum wheels and we like having water on board of these trailers. So keep in mind those two are upgrades from standard, but everything else is kind of what you see is what you get with these Logans. They do offer options where you can customize and change a lot of these features though as well. Their base model is going to be their Crossfire. This one we're looking at here is their Bullseye. And if you guys want to really go custom with these Logans, we can step up to the Riot, get a little bit wider, get a little bit more of those amenities, and change those features that you are looking for in a trailer specifically. But this one here, we'll keep in mind, is still available. So if you guys are looking through it and this one works for you, give us a call. We have all of our big main things swing out right here. So on your door, you're going to have your saddle blanket bars. These are clipped in, but they stay pretty well without being clipped. So if you ever just don't want to deal with that, to me, they're going to stay pretty well right there. Then they also swing out. So a lot easier to get to them this way, and they're going to stay put right there as well. It's not like they're going to try and go open or close on you if you are on a little bit of a slope either direction. They're going to stay open really well, which now gives you your saddles right next to your pads right here. Now, it's not as big of a deal when you are tacking up. You can go just throw your pad on and come back for your saddle. But I know when you do unsaddle, every single time the pad wants to come with the saddle. I cannot get my pad to really stay up there. You go pull them off, especially after a long trail ride or rodeo, just a long practice ride in general. They get pretty sweaty, and you go to pull off your saddle, your pad comes with it. Well, it's going to be real easy to just step over here, throw your saddle on there, throw your pad on there, and not have to worry about setting something on the ground while you get them separated and having to take them in your trailer or anything like that. This setup right here makes it super easy to work around. Then you do have your sliding bus window on your door right here. Really like having that right behind your blankets because it's just going to help get some air movement across there. It's going to help dry them out and just get some ventilation through your tack space in general. And then down below we have our brush tray on our door. You do have removable carpet in there, so you guys can take this out, shake it off, power wash it off, let it dry, and throw it back in there. But you could also keep it out, but just gives it a nice floor there to set on. But really good, long, usable space for all of your smaller items. I've got brushes in there, I've got hoof picks, I've got Chicago screws, extra snaps, probably some miscellaneous conchos are in there. I've got rubber bands, fly spray. I couldn't find my fly spray bottle the other day, so I need to replace that bottle. And then mane and tail detangler is really good for there as well. But just a nice spot to get those small items up off your floor, contained. And of course, you end up with something loose in your pocket, you throw it in there, and then it saves it for next time. You don't have to go digging through your trailer to get to it. And then your saddles swing out as well. The Logans now have these where they're adjustable, so you guys can slide them up and down anywhere on this post without any tools required. You're just going to come back here and twist that knob, which is really just going to open up that sleeve right here and allow it to slide up and down. Sometimes you just have to get the right angle to it. But you can space them out wherever you need to. And then you're just gonna crank that back down. It's just gonna close that sleeve back up against that post, and now contains it wherever you placed it. So if you did need to space them out, if you wanna just get some more clearance, like my barrel saddles, they got taller horns, I need more clearance. Got your English saddles on here, you don't need as much clearance, you can kind of suck them down together a little bit more, but you guys have options with that, and I love that they've made that more versatile and no tools required, so it's super easy to use. And then being 6'9" wide, you have your full length running board, so that's gonna act as our step up in here. We'll go and climb up in here and see what the inside looks like. Starting at the floor, we've got that carpet floor on your Logans. This carpet is removable though, at least on your floor here. So if you guys ever wanted to peel this out, you can. You could probably replace it at home with some rubber mats if you want to go that route. But this carpet is nice because it's not really like deep in there. It's pretty shallow carpeting. So it's going to be pretty easy to keep this guy clean. And the fact that you can take it out and spray it off or vacuum it is great to help maintain it there as well. But you'll have the same carpet up on your drop wall, up into your nose as well. So when you do store stuff up here, it's going to help kind of make it grip up there a little bit better, stay up there. I know my trailer is full of all kinds of stuff up there. But also if you did need to camp out in here for a night or spend the night, the carpet makes it a little bit nicer. You guys have bus windows on each side. Those do slide open about 50%, so you guys can get some ventilation if you are staying up in here. I've got those in mine. I've never spent the night up in my nose of my trailer, so I've never opened those, but not to be said, it wouldn't ever happen. So it's nice to have the option if you do need it. And then way up in the nose, we do have one of our lights up there. Just get some visibility up there if you do pack this full of stuff and it's late at night or early in the morning. You guys need to climb up there and look and see what you got going on. It's nice to have that light up there. While you guys are right here, I'm just going to point out some light switches that we have. So if you guys are buying off of our YouTube videos and you get home and you're wondering how the heck do I turn my lights on, we got some light switches right here. So this bottom one is doing the one up in your nose as well as your light in here. So it's doing your tack room lights. This one right here is going to be the light that's out over that door on the exterior. It shines down over your saddles that are out there. But these are where those controls are, you guys. Coming back over this way, we've got our partition wall right here with a high row of bridle hooks and that same carpet behind. I love how many bridle hooks you get up here because you're always going to have more bridles than you do horses. So especially extra halters up here or nose bands, tie downs, all the extra head stalls, reins, draw reins, all kinds of stuff. I've got all those up on mine, but nice to have this many hooks. And the carpet behind is really good in this scenario because it's going to protect your tack and equipment, but it's also going to deaden the noise for your horses that are on the other side of this wall. It's just going to help keep it a little bit quieter. So anything we can do to keep the ride for your horses quieter is ideal. So that's what your carpet is going to do right here for you guys. Otherwise, down below, you're just going to have your black Vortex lining, which is also nice for your protectant feature. You guys will see this throughout your Logan trailer. We'll see it in our stall area. We'll see it on our floors, and we'll see it on our drop wall up front on the exterior as well. This is similar to a bed liner, but it's a little bit thinner and it's a lot softer. So I can run my hand up here and it's not like sandpaper. It's not hurting me. It's not scraping me. So it's not bad if you brush up against it. It's just going to coat all of this exposed metal, protect it from the elements, and then protect it from whatever equipment you store up against it as well. Now I mentioned that water tank. This is something that we add at Transwest. Well, we add it from Logan, but Transwest, when we order our inventory, we add this. It's 28 gallons. It's just your upright corner water tank right here. You do have your 2 spigots down there you guys are checking out. So this one here is perfect if you just want to set a bucket under it and quick fill a bucket and take it out there to your horses or your dogs. Down below you also have another spigot. You get a hose with it. This hose will at least get you out the door, though I wouldn't say it's long enough to use to like rinse off your horses or anything. So if you want to buy another hose that gets you some more length, just make sure you do buy a similar hose like this. Do not buy one of those expandable grow hoses. Just get you a solid hose and run it out there, and you'll get enough pressure to rinse off your horses after a long ride. Help keep them cool. You can rinse off your tack, like your sport boots after a mud run or something like that. But always nice to have water on board, especially just because traveling nowadays, I feel like we always end up getting stuck in traffic that's unexpected. I know you expect it during rush hour and such, but traveling on these holiday weekends, there's accidents. You get stuck on the side of the road, you blow out a tire, either on your trailer or your truck, something like that. Always great to just have water right here. It's the same water your horses drink at home. Just get it back to them, and then you don't feel as bad getting stuck on the side of the road. You can keep them hydrated that way. Saddles do swing back in very easily, and then you do have a wide open entrance here. And then that exterior light that I was talking about up there, flipping that switch inside, that's that light right there. We'll go ahead and work our way back to the rest of this trailer. We have another light up top, so that one's gonna be visibility over your tie rings. I will show you that light switch on your back rear post once we get back there. And then we've got sliding bus windows over our tail side right here. That's gonna be standard. You guys are gonna get a lot of good airflow. Those slide open about 50% there. So get some air movement across your horse's backs that way. And then down below, 4 tie rings. You guys are gonna get 4 tie rings on each side, so you guys can tie up on either side. Priority being this side because your tack is right here, but also tying on the other side gets you the versatility because you just never know where you're gonna end up parking. If you end up having to park next to someone really close, or someone pulls in after you and parks really close to you and they've got horses that just don't look as friendly, you guys can tie up on the other side. You park next to some boulders at a trailhead or a ditch and you need to tie up over there. You've got those options when you have this many tie rings. We are looking at a white sheeted trailer. Logan does also offer a couple different color options if the white is not for you. And then down below, this aluminum extrusion is something you will see on your Bullseyes and your Riots. The Crossfires do not have this. So what this is gonna do right here, it runs all the way up just to the front of your stall area. So it ends right at your partition wall in your front tack room. That's just gonna add some structural integrity to your trailer itself, to this sidewall, to your stall area. It's just gonna beefen up this side and add that just another layer of making this a good solid trailer. And then down below, black spoke aluminum wheels. I mentioned that standard is steel. You guys can upgrade to regular, just aluminum spoke wheels, or the black. I think the black always looks real nice when we do our white sheeted trailers. We'll go ahead and step around back to our stall area. Back here, we're walking around this door. We've got 2 50/50 doors. And then we do have a step up. And I know at the time of this video, we do have 1 white Logan ramp in stock. Always just call and ask us, but we can also order ramps from Logan to color match a trailer if you want something different. But no, that is something that we can do here, is we can install ramps. So you're not stepping up, you're just gonna replace that rubber bumper there. Our shop can also install stall fans if you guys want those fans in here for ventilation, and then cameras as well if you like to have the visibility inside of your stall area, or a reverse camera. So up here we've got another light for visibility down here. You're shining out here, so giving your horses lots of confidence as they step in and out of this trailer. And then we also have the lights over each of our stalls, and I'm just gonna point out that light switch before we move on, and I forget that later. Your light switches are right here. So these are gonna control your stall lights, and then your load lights, and your lights on your sides of your trailers. Now right now I've got all of my dividers clipped open, so you can travel this way where they do clip open against each other. Right here they've all got snaps and D-rings, and then your last divider here does telescope into itself and allows it to close flat against the wall with your doors closed. So if you guys needed to travel wide open like this, I know I did it last year when I picked up my colt who was barely halter broke, had been in a trailer maybe one time, and I needed to haul him loose in here. You guys can do that with these Logan dividers like this. Also works well for mares and foals. If you're moving, if you're taking a golf cart to a horse show, you guys can do that. You don't have to have any, you don't have to remove dividers or anything like that. It's nice that they all clip open. Now we're gonna run all the way up front and then work our way back. So each stall, you're gonna have a 2-way roof vent. So this guy will pop open 2 different directions. So each stall gets one of those. You're also gonna have 1 tie ring per stall. I know some people do like to have a second tie ring to hang like a hay net or a hay bag or tie a horse to. So if you guys want a second one in each stall, our shop can do that as well. But you'll get 1 standard. For drop down windows, we'll have window screens on your Bullseyes and your Riots. And then each stall is gonna have 3 rings for your corner feeder. And that's a standard dimension there. So if you guys did want to add a corner feeder after the fact, you guys can pick them up really easily from any ranch supply store or online. It's just Professional's Choice or Weaver. They make really good ones for right there. So you guys have the option to kind of put in a manger right there, take it out if you don't want all that space, and hang a hay net or a hay bag right there. Each divider is going to be padded. Really like the padding on them for, especially we mentioned traffic. You're just kind of stopping and going a lot and they're bouncing off these dividers. You're fully padded on both sides. And then all of them are going to be solid at your shoulder right there. I think that's nice to get your horses a little bit of separation, especially if they're going to be eating out of a hay net or a hay bag and they don't share well. It's nice to have solid so where they can't see each other, but you're still going to have lots of air movement with all your windows and your roof vents. Now right here, I wanted to show you these dividers. They are slam latches, so you're going to want to slam it shut. But then when you slam it and it sets back up in there, there is a piece of foam back there. It's kind of hard to see, but there is foam behind these dividers. So when you do shut that in there, it's setting up. That foam helps it really secure tightly in there, and then also prevents that rattling noise. So I mentioned earlier on, we do everything that we can to keep it quiet in here for your horses. That's what that foam is doing in this scenario right there. Second stall has the same divider. You'll have your tie ring, your window screen, your D-rings in all second and third stalls. And then I was going to show you guys the telescoping of this divider right here. So when it's already shut like this, all you have to do is just pull it out. It will auto lock itself in there when it finds that pin setting. So it just pops in and now you're good to go. When you do want to collapse it, you're just going to pick up and push in on it. So pretty easy to do. If you ever do start to feel like it's sticky or something, that white lithium spray works really well to just keep it greased up. And then that one also slams in there as well. So on your floor of this trailer, we do have got removable rubber mats. And then underneath, you're gonna have your wood flooring. So wood planks, but there's that Vortex lining again. I did mention it was on your floor. It's gonna be sprayed up on the top side of your wood right here. So what that's doing on this top side is that when you do have urine soak through your rubber mats, through your seams there and get to your wood floor, the Vortex lining is protecting that. So it's helping your floors last a lot longer that way. It is not sprayed on the underside, but that's just giving it the ability to dry out. When you do get that road spray and that splashing underneath that hits up on that wood, it will just be able to dry out as you drive on drier roads. But up here, you've got your Vortex lining to kind of protect from the urine right there. And then all the way around all of your walls and these two doors, you've got that same Vortex lining. Just giving you a good protectant in there from your double walls right here. Your horse is kicking up on them and causing any dents or dings right there. It's going to protect your horses, but also protect that trailer. And then this door right here is going to have your weather stripping, so you guys can kind of close either one. That weather stripping is always going to close the gap. And then they've been doing this protectant over your rod latch back here. You're not going to get that on the Crossfire, but it's on your Bullseyes and your Riots now. And I just like that that gives it more protection. I know they do coat these rods in that Vortex lining, which offers protection, but the more you move and work those rods, it will have a tendency to start to kind of flake off a little bit. Not for a while, and it does very minimally, but now having this protectant just helps it last longer and continue to work really easily for you guys. So I did really like that when they started doing that feature. Didn't get it closed in there. We'll go ahead and step around to our head side here and take a look at those drop down windows. So as we saw inside, you're gonna have your window screens. So that's gonna be protecting your horse's heads from road debris or rocks splashing up in there and getting through those jail bars. These Logans, the Bullseyes and the Riots, not your Crossfires, come with those already on there, but you guys can see you can easily take those off if you did not want those on there. But what's also nice is that you can drop your jail bars down and the screen comes with it. So typically you could see, I know on my very first trailer, it had the window screens mounted inside on the inside of the frame there. So even when you dropped your windows down, you couldn't actually get in there to access your horses. So I love that the window screens come with your jail bars, because now you can still get access in there to your horses. If you wanted to fill those corner feeders, check on them, untie them, offer them some water, whatever it may be, you still have that access with this setup. And all you're doing to work your jail bars is pulling down on this middle bar. It's the square one. That's just gonna release that latch right there to allow you to open and close that mechanism. And then your drop down windows, these do pop into a socket right there, so you guys can drive with these down. Then they're not going to catch the wind and blow up in the air that way. And Logan has added this latch right here to make it a lot easier to reach. I mean, they used to have to be, they are still up there. They used to be up there, but they used to not have this latch. So where it was pretty hard to reach up here. I'm 6 feet and I'm still kind of on my tippy toes trying to really get some good leverage on that. All you got to do on this one is pull straight down on this bar. You can do it with one hand. I typically always do it with two. But if you did have a horse in one hand or a bucket or something, you can still grab it and pull straight down on it. But if you do struggle, two hands still, and you're just going to pull straight down on it. So you're not pulling out, you're just pulling straight down. And then all these are going to be slam latches, so just go ahead and give it a good shove shut right there. If you didn't want all that ventilation and like fully drops, you still have your sliding bus window built into each of those drops. So you can slide those open just a little bit. Again, your white sheeted exterior and your black spoke wheels, you get a really good look at it over here. Now up front, we're gonna get another good look at that black Vortex lining. I love having it up here because this is where you're gonna get the most splash from your tow vehicle, either rocks or road salt spray in the winter. So your Vortex lining just protects all of this and helps really get this lasting a lot longer for you guys. Your Logans are on a galvanized steel frame, so the galvanized is less likely to rust, but still your steel frame. And all of that is coated in this black Vortex lining as well, so it protects it there as well. Everything else is going to be aluminum sheeting for your aluminum skin. And then you have a full-size matching spare tire. It's just mounted facing backwards right now, but full size, and it does match. You do have a manual crank jack on this one right here. Our shop can upgrade this to an electric jack if you did want that. They will also install a battery box with a battery and a battery disconnect switch. So you do get the full package when you go that route. When you do go that route and you have the battery, you also can start to run your lights without being plugged in. So right now I'm plugged into a battery box, which mimics being plugged into your tow vehicle. Right now, as the trailer sits, you would need to be plugged into your tow vehicle to run all of those lights. If you added that electric jack package, you could then run your lights off of your battery, which is nice. I do that at home because my trailer's never hooked up to my truck right now. So nice to have that option. This one is brand new, so you're gonna get an 8-year structure warranty. You're gonna get a limited lifetime corrosion warranty with that Vortex lining spray. And then you're gonna get 2-year hitch to bumper as well. I mentioned earlier, this one is still available. No one's got their name on it yet. And there are so many different configurations and colors and different options you can do with these Logans. So if you guys want to run through a spec sheet, look at building your own, or take this one home with you, guys give me a call, shoot me a text. You can reference this stock number. It's 5N250382. Again, it's your 2025 Logan Coach Bullseye 4-horse gooseneck. My name is Michaela Hall. You guys can call or text me. It's 303-918-6367. And then my email, Michaela.Hall@transwest.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your week.